it's time for us to bring in Mike Cozzi. Morning, Mike.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm good.
All right. Well, first of all, let's get the NFL picks out of the way. How do we make out this weekend?
We sucked.
Yeah.
The Rams lost for both of us. We both had the Chargers that won, and then I lost with Houston, and you lost with the Colts. So you're 10-10, and I'm 13-7.
All right, and Monday Night Football, Cincinnati versus Pittsburgh.
Yep, 2-0-3 teams.
Yeah. I think I'm going to take. Is a game in Pittsburgh?
I honestly don't know. I think so.
Well, I'm going to go on the fact that the game's in Pittsburgh, so I'll take Pittsburgh.
I took Pittsburgh too. I flipped the coin, looked in the cat box, and it came up Pittsburgh.
Now, I want you to do something before we get on to other sports and baseball. When you get some time after you're finished at school and stuff like that, go to the standings in the NFL and see what you notice.
They're probably all the same. You probably have a couple undefeated teams. Everybody else is 500, and then a couple of teams that didn't win yet. Yeah. I didn't look, but I'm just guessing.
That's exactly what it is. I think there's two teams that are, I think, 4-0, and a team or two that's 3-1, and then there's two. I think there's three teams that haven't won yet. I think, and then everybody else is 2-2. Yep, everybody else is 2-2.
That's what they wanted. That's what they got.
Well,
they're sharing the wealth.
Yeah.
It's kind of boring and useless.
Oh gosh, I tell you. But do you remember what the quarterback that got Haskins said after Danny Dimes was picked by the Giants?
Who?
That's what they call
Danny
him.
Dimes?
That's his nickname is. It was that way, and that's what they're calling
Danny
him.
Dimes.
Yeah. So
All
anyways,
right.
But anyways, do you remember what Haskins said?
I don't even know who Haskins is.
Haskins is the quarterback that from Ohio State that everybody thought was going to go to the Giants, like a top pick.
Okay.
All right. So what he said was, That's okay. They made a mistake. I'm gonna kick their ass for the next 10 years. Well, he shouldn't have said that because yesterday he didn't kick their ass. He played like a guy who. Here's a guy who played great quarterback his senior year in college, only year that he started quarterback. But he played a great, and they thought that he would pick up the speed of the NFL just by plopping him in a game and not letting him, ease into it. And he just looked completely lost. He just looked completely lost yesterday. The Giants won that game again because the other teams. I mean, the Giants played okay. But the other team played the Redskins were just horrid. Unbelievably horrible.
I wouldn't know. I was busy making my money back at Churchill Downs that I lost on Saturday night. So.
Did you make it all back then some?
Yes, I did.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yes, I did.
That's good.
But I did watch one game because there was no baseball last night. I watched the Saints play the Cowboys. And let me tell you something. The coach of the Saints really turned that team around when they lost Drew Brees because they turned into the Giants of 1986, where the quarterback only had to throw the ball when he needed to, and they just ran the ball down your throat. And they just demolished the Cowboys by not letting them get the ball back, and they came out with the win, 12-10, in a game that you think the Saints couldn't win without Drew Brees.
And you're exactly right.
And their defense played top-notch.
And it was. I didn't watch the whole game. I just watched the beginning of it. But
that's the only game I watched yesterday.
Yeah, but you're right. That's exactly what Bill Parcells used to say. Just pound it down their throats. Take advantage of your scoring opportunities when you get them, and play good defense.
And that's what the Saints did.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't think the Saints can, but they stuck it to the Cowboys last night. And talking about sticking it to. How about the Rams sticking it to probably about 90% of the people in the survival pools this weekend?
Oh, my God. I did watch that game. It was
21-0 before you can blink an eye. They were losing.
It was like It was horrible. Do you remember the Washington? All I could think of was the Washington-New York Giant game, I think from like 1962, where the Skins...
I was 1 year old. I don't remember that.
The Skins beat the Giants 70-45. The highest scoring game in NFL history. 70-45.
These are the Bucks scoring 55 points against the team that was in the Super Bowl last year at home.
Yeah.
You know, there's your parity, folks. There it is.
Pretty amazing.
Anybody could beat anybody on any day. If that's what you like, you can have it.
It's pretty amazing stuff. Yeah, all right, so enough.
Back to baseball now.
Yep.
Joe Madden's out and Clint Hurdle's out. The Pirate and Cubs manager both let go yesterday, so there's 2 openings already. I'm sure there'll be more to follow.
Joe Girardi's going to get a.
He'll probably get the Cubs job. I would think I'd be shocked if he doesn't get the Cubs job.
Maybe if Theo Epstein stays, maybe he won't.
Well, there's no guarantee Theo Epstein's staying.
Yeah. So the Giants, so the Yankees pull a 5-game loss into the playoffs. That's a great way to go up against the Twins.
I always say this guy don't know what he's doing. Now they can go in and they can succeed or whatever, but this isn't the way to do it. And yesterday against the Texas Rangers, they got beat against 6-1. Not only did they get beat, I think they only got 3 hits in the game, 3 or 4 hits tops maybe. So not the way you want to be going into the playoffs.
No, absolutely not. It's not like it's like I said. I love the Yankees. I want the Yankees to win, but like I've been saying all year, I'm just happy that they won the East because I just don't see anybody beating Houston. But let's take a look at the schedule because it all starts tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow night, Milwaukee's at Washington. Should be an interesting game. Both of these playing games are pretty interesting games. I would give the advantage to Washington. Anytime Scherzer's pitching, you got to give him the advantage on that one. And then Wednesday, Tampa Bay travels to Oakland to play the A's. That one can go either way. So
I'm going to go with Tampa Bay in that game.
I would too because of Charlie Morton, but the A's at home are tough. So it all depends what Tampa Bay does with Charlie Morton. If they let Charlie Morton go as far as he can, advantage to the Rays. If they say you're pitching 5 or 6 innings and then we're going to go to our pitcher an inning, advantage to the A's. So we'll see what happens with that one. But if it was me, I would be looking for Charlie Morton to go 9 innings and shut down the A's. That's Tampa Bay's strength in that game. As soon as they take Charlie Morton out, the A's are right back in it. Yep. And then Thursday, whoever wins Tuesday's game between Milwaukee and Washington plays the Dodgers. Thursday after that, I don't know what the times are yet, St. Louis lines up against the Braves. And then on Friday, Houston plays the winner of the Tampa Bay-Oakland game, and the Yankees play Minnesota.
All right,
but no times are scheduled yet except for the playing games. But I'm sure that Major League Baseball has the screw the Astros button out, and the Yankees will be playing at 8 o'clock, and the Astros will probably be playing about 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
All right, well, we'll see what happens. I'm going to take Washington over Milwaukee, and like I said, Tampa Bay over Oakland to see what happens. What the heck? I probably just put
like I said, I feel Washington has an advantage there, although Milwaukee's hot as a pistol. And the Tampa Bay game, the factor is how long's Charlie Morton go? That's the whole thing in that game. If Charlie Morton is allowed to go deep, I think Tampa Bay wins. If the manager gets smart and tries to earn his money, the A's will win.
All right, and congratulations because didn't the Cardinals win the division?
Yeah, they won the division, but let me tell you something. Milwaukee had every opportunity this weekend to take it, but on the days when the Cardinals lost, they lost as well. So it just wasn't good baseball at the end. But I mean, you can't fault the team that probably won like 17 out of their last 20.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So they got into it when you never thought they could get into it, and they made the playoffs, but having that advantage of not playing the playing game is big. And I think Milwaukee's a better team than St. Louis. I think the Braves take care of St. Louis. And
before we leave, Cleveland got the win yesterday in the NFL, but did you see what happened with OBJ?
No.
He got into a little tussle with one of the defensive members and of the other team, and ended up on top of him, choking him.
Nice. So, in other words, if it was outside the confines of the stadium, he'd be in jail this morning.
That's exactly right. And I don't even think they threw a penalty flag on the whole thing.
Really?
Oh,
you got to be kidding me.
It's kind of nice, even though the Giants are going to need a couple of years to rebuild. It's kind of nice not having all that other stuff going on. I have to say it. It really is.
Hey, one more thing on going back to racing for a second. In the Gold Cup, which was a sham of a race because there was only a 5-horse field with 4 logical contenders in it. Vino Rosso won the race, was disqualified in one of the worst decisions I've ever seen in racing in my life. They put up the winner of the Travers, and these horses came together, bumped slightly twice in the stretch, where you see this happen every single day, and they disqualified Vino Rosso in what was a terrible, terrible decision by the stewards in New York. If you get a chance to watch it. I mean, and then they all relate back to the Kentucky Derby. Well, it was done then. And the Kentucky Derby was an entirely different animal. It could have been a catastrophic situation, and the horse came out 3 paths. If you watched this yesterday, what happened Saturday, the horse barely moved to his right. They kind of brushed each other. The eventual winner didn't break stride one time. That's what you look for. The stewards in New York really blew it this time.
All right. That is our report from Mike. Mike, we'll speak to you tomorrow morning.
Have a great day, guys.
Take care, buddy. Mike Cozzi with the Check on Sports this morning here on the Breakfast Club on Robin Hood Radio.